We're learning a mimer here from the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. In fact, a series of maimorim that he said when he was freed from the death penalty, and then from prison, and then and sent to exile, and then from exile. So last mimer we learned, which was Gefen Mitzrayim Tesiah, that's the Rebbe said on the day that he arrived in his in the place of exile, when he got out of prison. And this mimer that we're learning was the day that it was announced to him that he was freed even from exile. And he said a sentence from King David, who also had a lot of troubles, King David: God is with me among my helpers, and I will see my enemies. It was, God is among my helpers, and I will see the destruction of my enemies. And the Rebbe asked a question, two questions. First of all, what does it mean that God is among my helpers? King David was always helped by God, but there were not other helpers. True, God sends messengers, and God sends angels and people and incidents in the world to help you. But the message of the Jewish people, especially somebody like King David, is that everything is really coming from God. The real thanks you have to give is to God. Immediately you have to say thank you to the people who help you, of course. But the real one that helps you is God. God sent all these people. You are a real godsend. So King David, what did he mean? I have a lot of helpers, and God is among my helpers. Hashem li bo'ozrai. God is one of my helpers. This, by the way, is from the Psalm 118 that we say also in Hallel. God is one of my helpers, and I will see the destruction of my enemies. The Rebbe said, well, that's not nice. That's revenge. You're not supposed to take revenge on your enemies. King David's enemies, a lot of them were people that really believed in God. I mean, they really believed that they were right. They weren't like a Amalek that wanted to wipe out Judaism. Doag, Achitofel, these were Talmidei Chachamim. These were very great and religious people. So let's go to the second paragraph. Now we're in the second paragraph. I think it is here, 358. There, it's like this. There. Ulahavin calls, we have some unused stuff. Ulahavin calls, let's understand this. Gam also lahavin, to understand ma she'omer Razal, what the rabbis say. Habol l'taher misayim lo. One who comes to purify himself, they help him. Misayim lo. The l'chiora at first glance ain't a move, and it's not understood. The lashon misayim, they help him. Shene'emar lashon rabim. It's a saying, a person who comes to, how do they say? God helps those who help themselves. If you come to do something good, then God will help you. God will help you. But it doesn't say that in the saying of the rabbis. It says, Habol l'tahir, a person that comes to refine himself, to better himself, elevate himself, is they help him. Misayin lo, they help him. It's Aramaic, but it's plural. Shene'emar b'lashon rabim, it says they help him. Halo ein ozer ela kodesh baruch hu, the only one that helps you is only God alone. Again, it's the same question as we had in the beginning. Va'od ma'u lashon habol l'tahir. What does it mean? One who comes to purify himself. Hu pol yotzei. It doesn't say bol l'tahir. It says one who comes to purify. We put it in the thing. It promised to purify himself. But you look at the grammar closely. L'tahir means to purify, and it means to purify others. Mashma l'tahir acherim. In Hebrew, which is abol lehitaher, a person that comes to purify himself. There's reflexive in Hebrew. And here it doesn't use that. It doesn't use coming back to you. Abol lehitaher means one who comes to purify others, one who comes to refine other people. Other people who are impure or have problems, have faults, personality faults, action faults. You come to refine them, help them out. That's the word l'taher. So it seems it's saying if you come to purify others, God will help you. Which that's true also, but that's not the real meaning of this, the intention at least of it. It means that a person who comes to purify himself, refine himself, God helps. Demashma gam l'taher acherim. That also implies to refine others. So two questions. What does it mean? Abol l'taher misayim lo. Why does it say plural? If you come to purify, they help you. Why does it say plural? It should be talking about God helps you. God sends people. He helps you through nature, but it's God doing everything. The second question, why does it say a person who comes to purify when it really means one who comes to purify himself? Inyan is like this. The Rebbe wants to get to a point. Kativ zmiros hayu lichukecha b'beis megurai. King David said, songs were to me your laws. God, your Torah was like songs to me. B'beit megurai, in the house of my wanderings. When I was wandering around from place to place. Omer Azal David zmiros karilahu. David, God got mad at King David that he called the Torah songs. Zmiros karilahu, you call the Torah songs. And King David got punished. He got punished because he called the Torah songs. What could be wrong with that? I mean, calling the Torah songs.
Especially since he's writing all these songs.
King David was wandering around. He was being pursued by his enemies. And he said, my only comfort is the Torah. My only comfort is the Torah.
And it's like a song to me.
It's like a song to me. It puts a little harmony in the world, a little order in the world, beauty into this ugly, disappointing world. And King David got punished because of it. Ubira and Yanu, the explanation is, Tehine, behold, David hayam mishabeach et Torah. David was praying. Why did God get mad at him? David was praising the Torah. Bezeh, in the fact, ma, what? Shekol. See where we're at? Last word in line is Shekol. Call it the second paragraph down there. Second paragraph. No. Here. Ma Shekol. Shekol, that all, chayut, the life, v'kiyum olam, and the existence of the world, talui, depends, bediktuk echad, in one detail, one letter, one point on the top of the letters. You know how you grow the calligraphy of Torah writing? What do they call it, calligraphy? That there's little lines on top of certain letters. Midiktukei Torah. That from one little detail of the Torah, the whole life of the world depends. And that King David was praising the Torah. Dehine Briat Olam, and God got mad at him because of that. We'll see. Dehine Briat Olam, that abbreviation is Briat HaOlam. See it is? The last word in line is Haya. Briat Olam, the creation of the world. You can write that down. Creation of the world. Briat Olam. The creation of the world, Haya, was Al Yadei, by means of Torah. Ukamamar, like the saying, HaTorah Omeret, the Torah says, Ani Hayiti, I was, Kli Umnato, the working tool, Shel HaKodesh Baruch Hu, of God. The Torah says, the whole world was made from me. I was God's tool to make the world. Ubezoar ita, And in the Zohar, Zohar, mystical Judaism, it says, Kodesh Baruch Hu estakel baraita, that God looked into the Torah, umbora alma, and He created the world. Lochi, and therefore, hine, gam kiyam olam, also the existence of the world, who is al yedei haTorah, by means of the Torah. Ukamaimer, and like the saying, she hitne akodesh baruch Hu, that God made a condition, im, with, ma'aseh bereshit, the creation, for Omar, and said, im mekablim Yisrael et Torah, if the Jews accept the Torah, mutav, good. Ve'im lo, and if not, achzir etchem, I will return you, letohu vavohu, the world, to confusion and nothingness. Hari, namely, the call, chayut v'kiyam olam, all of the life and the existence of the world, talui, depends, b'kiyum Torah, and doing the Torah. Lazot, therefore, hine, behold, al yedei esek v'limud Torah, by means of working and learning the Torah, b'chalal in general, or b'frad, and especially b'limud barabim, when you learn Torah in public, hine, behold, al yedei zeh, by means of this, nimshachim, we draw down, tosfot, orot, v'giluim, extra lights and revelations, ba'olamot, in the worlds. So when you learned the whole world was created by means of the Torah, it means that the Torah is bigger than the world. It means that the Torah is bigger than time. It means that the Torah is more real than spirit. God creates all the spirits and all the angels and all the time and all being. He creates it from the Torah. So the Torah is something that is the source of all life, the source of all existence. This is Jewish faith. Very hard to believe. I mean, this is just, Torah is just a book in the library, isn't it? It says, no, it's true. It's also that. It's also that. God gave this book to the Jewish people. Yes, it's true. But the fact is that the Torah, every letter in it, is the source of the life for the whole entire world. And one of the basics of the Jewish religion is that God is creating everything all the time. We've said this a lot of times. That God is creating everything all the time. There's nothing exists that isn't being created. Its existence depends on the Creator creating it. And now we're saying that there's something between, if you want to call it, the Creator and the creation. And that is what? The Torah. The Torah is the tool that God uses to create the world. God uses the Torah also to create us. But we have free will. God gave us free will. And God said in the beginning, I'll do the whole thing on my own. I'll create the whole world. That's the story of the Bible, Bereshit, Genesis. God created everything on His own. After He created man on the sixth day, He said, that's it. Now, up to now, everything depends on you. I'll keep creating the world, but it all depends on you. For instance, if the Jewish people receive the Torah, if they do the Torah, then good, the world will keep going. But if not, then I'll just turn the whole thing back to nothing. To nothingness. That's why there has to be one person in every generation, at least, that really takes this whole idea seriously. That takes it not as a religious idea, but as an idea of fact. Really, the whole entire world is a very incredibly meaningful place that's being created intentionally every single instant by God. And He's creating it according to the letters and unifications and the secrets of the Torah. And when the Jews learn the Torah, it strengthens the world. So if so, what is the tool God uses to create the world? The Torah. And when the Jews learn the Torah, as that strengthens the world. Ubafrad, and especially Belimud Barabim. If the Jews learn the Torah in public, groups of people, Hine al yedei zeh, by means of this, Nimshachim is drawn, Tosfot Orot, additional lights, V'giluim, and revelations, for Olamot and the worlds. For who al derech Inyan akorbanos. This is something like the sacrifices. What are the sacrifices? We're right at the bottom of the page. Korbanos, first word on the line. This is like the sacrifices. Oh, here we have a very strange subject in Judaism. Sacrifices. Did you know that in Judaism they make animal sacrifices in Judaism? When I read this in the Bible the first time, right, 40 years ago, I was just completely appalled. The Jewish people made animal sacrifices. And not only that, that's one of the central things of Judaism. They had a holy temple. And the holy temple, it wasn't just, if you feel like it, you can sacrifice something in your backyard, but don't tell anybody about it. I'm sorry?
You were disturbed by it?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was amazed.
You didn't know at the time that there were other religions that had human sacrifices?
Of course, I didn't. I thought Judaism was not like them, right?
No, that's not it, because if it's animal sacrifices, they're not sacrificing people.
Just the idea of taking a living thing and sacrificing, you call that, what is it, vicarious? Just taking a living thing and sacrificing it because of something bad that I did. The cow didn't do anything, right? I did a sin, so I kill a cow, and that brings how does that work? How does that work? The cow is totally innocent. Cow is innocent. Now I sacrifice this cow, that's it. Just the very idea just defies logic. Maybe it's a feeling, an idea. Not only that, that was the center of Judaism. The center of Judaism was the Holy Temple. And in the Holy Temple, they made sacrifices. That was the center of Judaism, called Avodat HaKorbanot, the service of God, serving God, sacrifices. And even more, now that we haven't got the Holy Temple, so you think, wow, we're really happy about that. There's no Holy Temple. That's sort of an embarrassing thing. I don't even know if they make animal sacrifices in Africa anymore. Maybe they do, who knows? The most primitive of people, I don't think they make animal sacrifices. Do they make it? I don't think so. Could be. But here, Jewish people, it was very, very orderly. There's whole books of the Torah, whole chapters of the Torah, the whole book of Leviticus. A big section of it is talking about how the sacrifices work. This korban is called the sacrifice. Achatas and asham, ola, right? Ashlomim, right? Different, where you spill the blood and how long you can eat parts of it, and if you can't eat, and where you have to burn this up, and where you have to burn this. Very surprising, the sacrifices. And we're waiting now for the third temple to be built so that we can resume the sacrifice. That's what we say in the Musaf prayer. Az naseh lefanecha kamitzvos necha. Then we will do. What's the thing about sacrifices? Remember the first time I read it, you're in the university. I was in university. I had finished university, but I had the university normal, mind. Nowadays they go crazy. There's groups that come and they protest in front of slaughterhouses, right? Stop killing chickens, stop killing. And when they do kaporos, stop killing the chickens, have mercy on the chickens, right? They have a point. They have a point. Huh? Yeah, they have a point. What killing chickens for what reason? Of course, these people they don't really have a point, because if nobody would kill chickens, nobody would eat chickens. They're against just killing them and eating them. What? PETA, whatever it is. They used to have ASPCA, but that was a little bit different. They were against pain to animals. Oh, that I can understand, according to the Torah also. But here they're just against killing animals at all. Animals are no better than people, and people are certainly no better than animals. Right? That we can go and kill the animals, kicking a chicken. So, okay, apart from the virtues or the lack of virtues of these ideas, but the whole idea of taking an animal and sacrificing is really sort of very surprising, for Judaism. So the answer is no, that God creates everything. Because God creates everything, so really taking an animal and eating it, or sacrificing even more, actually elevates the power of the animal. Every animal is going to live and is going to die anyway. And by sacrificing in the proper way to the Creator, it's using this animal to connect to its full potential, right? To connect the creation with the Creator. Do with the creation what the Creator wants. And that makes the whole entire world worthwhile. That makes the dynamics work, as we'll talk about in just one